answering your questions about retirement. It's Money Talk with Michael Eastham.
My wife and I have never had a will or trust. It's one of those things we kept saying we would get to, but never did. We recently went through the estate process when her father died, and it was a disaster with probate in 3 states and disagreements with her family because he died without a will. Now we are committed to getting it done. Can you help us understand the differences and how to figure out what's best?
I'm really glad to hear that you're committed to getting an estate plan in place, because in my world, an estate plan is a very important part, even a cornerstone, to every good, well-rounded financial plan. So that's great news. Let me try and help you understand the differences, or a couple of differences, between a will and a trust. A will must go through probate. Probate can take time, and it can cost money. And that's money that will leak out of your estate that your beneficiaries will not receive, because it has to go through probate court. And if your estate is more complex, like for example, you might own rental property, or you might have a second home in another state, then you may have to open probate in more than one estate if you don't take that into consideration. Not only that, but the probate process is very open, and it's not very private at all. So you've got to take that into consideration. A lot of folks think that because they don't have a real complicated estate, that they don't need to do a trust. Well, a revocable living trust is one very helpful way to help you to avoid probate for your heirs and for your estate. It doesn't have to go through probate. It has a successor trustee that takes over and is able to execute the terms of the trust in accordance with your wishes. Now, if it is true that a trust costs a little bit more than a will does, but at the same time, it's a classic case of you can pay me now or you can pay me later. So you can pay a little bit more money up front and avoid the cost of probate, or you can save a little bit of money now, and let's say you have a house that's worth $200,000 and that house has to go through probate. Well, that could be $6,000 right there. If your estate is $1 million, it could very easily be $20,000 or $30,000 just in the probate costs alone. So you can see where that pay me now or pay me later can really come into play here. But that's a very important aspect. One other thing that's important about a trust is a very private document. It's a legal entity that's separate from you and can make sure that that all of your estate passes through very quickly in a very efficient manner. I hope that helps, but guess what? One more extra piece of information. If you want to learn more about wills and trusts, I'd encourage you to go to our website, fellowshipfinancial.com, click on the events tab, and register for one of our upcoming estate planning webinars. We'll drill down very deeply and help you understand the distinctions so that you can make an informed decision about whether a will or a trust is right for you. Thanks so much. I hope that helps.
If you've got a financial question you'd like to have answered, click on the link below to submit your question. You may hear your answer on an upcoming edition of Money Talk.